You know what? I'm just about done with the NFL. If the Chargers had lost fair and square, I got no problem saying they got beat by the better team. The Raiders weren't the better team. Once again, the Chargers were playing the referees. This has got to stop. I know I talked about before the NFL is registered, from what I understand, as sports entertainment, kind of like the WWE. So the NFL is turned into the NFE, or the NFL, the National Fix League. This game was ridiculous. Did you see all the plays they were calling flags on for the Chargers, overlooking things for the Raiders? I saw pass interference at least 5 times on the Raiders. They didn't call it. You see the play with Mike Williams at the end? That was clear pass interference that would have caused the game. We would have won the game, because that would have been a touchdown, or we would have been so close, I'm sure we would have scored on the next play. But it was so blatant pass interference against Williams that they didn't even show the replay for NBC. And it seems like the networks and everybody's in on it. I don't think Chris Collinsworth would go for that. I don't think he or Al Michaels are in on it. Chris Collinsworth is a stand-up guy. I believe he's a believer like myself. This has got to stop, though. It was just so blatant that the NFL wanted the Raiders to win. I should have thought about it. I think my son was trying to tell me that, but he kept mentioning John Gruden. I think he may have mentioned John Madden. I think he was trying to say because of what happened to John Madden, the NFL is going to try to capitalize off of it and, bring in that nostalgia, probably let the Raiders in Pittsburgh go at it, so they can, reminisce about the games that John Madden had with Pittsburgh back in the 60s and 70s, reminisce on that and bring back nostalgia and get the ratings up. I just couldn't believe what I was saying. Then when the Chargers make a long completion, I think it was in overtime, they call it back and say illegal man downfield. And then when they showed the replay, the lineman took 2 steps forward. He was nowhere down the field. Even Chris Collinsworth said something to the effect that even if he was on that kind of play, it's supposed to be legal because of the formation or something like that. I have never seen more blatant fixing in my life, and I don't care if the NFL knows it. That game was fixed, in my opinion. And if anybody doesn't have the heart to say it, I got the heart to say it. That game was disgusting. I was seeing all kind of holding. They weren't calling for the Raiders. They would overlook everything the Raiders do. And usually the Raiders are the most penalized team in the NFL this year. I hear it's the Cowboys, but usually it's the Raiders. They weren't calling hardly jack on the Raiders. They let the Chargers get away with one thing. I think, how could I forget his name? Number 33. I think he got a face mask pretty bad, and they didn't call it. So I guess that they figure, well, that makes it look fair. We didn't call that, or either it just really, they didn't see it. But there were so many things. I'm like, I felt like doing like Antonio Brown and just, throwing my whatever at the stands. I'm still rocking with the Chargers logo, but I think I'm done pretty much with the NFL. If it's going to be fake like that, how can you really get into it? Because anytime your team starts to do good, the referees dictate the game, and that's a form of fixing. All you got to do is have a referee throw a couple flags and key plays like a touchdown or first down, and it's obvious who they want to win. It was obvious they wanted the Raiders to win. Why? John Madden coached the Raiders. Where do you think this is going? Ben Roethlisberger's last year. Where do you think this is headed? The National Fix League. I've never seen something more blatant in my entire life. When I used to watch the Chargers as a child, I wonder, were they fixing games back then, or is this a new thing? I know Michael Franzese, a former mob guy who's a believer now, was talking about how they used to fix college games. He's like, it's the easiest thing to do. You just, you tell them whatever, and then they go out there and throw an interception the first play, or a basketball player in college misses a couple shots. It's real easy to fix games, and I don't think any of the players are in on it. I think some definite refs are in on it. I heard something about you watch a high watch game, from the networks and see a referee you never heard of before show up. Just the lack of calls, the lack of pass interference calls, the blatant just key. I remember my uncle coached a college team, a junior college team in San Diego, and the refs were cheating them so bad that at halftime or around the third quarter, they literally pulled their team off the field. They just left the game. They're like, this is blatantly one-sided. You're calling flags and left and right. It's just blatant sometimes, and it's like they don't care if you know. So they just took their team off the field like whatever. You can count it whatever you want. We weren't going to win anyway. So like Sylvester Stallone was just talking about on Instagram, sometimes it's okay to quit because quitting can make you reset and head in a better direction. If you keep going in the wrong way thinking, I'll make it, you'll never know what's waiting for you over here. So sometimes it's wise to quit. It's just you got to know when's that time to quit and when's that time to keep going. By the way, go check out the interview me and Andrew Tucker World did last week with Dusty from Dusty Vision TV. It was, great. We talked more than boxing. We're talking about Turbo from Breaking. We're talking about all kind of stuff. Go check it out. I was so mad at the end of this game. I could feel myself really getting heated. Had I filmed myself immediately after the game, I probably would have been punching the camera. But it's not my camera's fault. It's the NFL's fault. Just let the games play out. Stop deciding who wins and who loses. Before, when the Raiders used to talk about going to Vegas, the NFL was like, nah, it's not a good look because of all the gambling and the accusations and this and that, and they'll think games are fixed. What happens? Years later, I guess they thought we all forgot. Raiders moved to Vegas. That game was so scripted. The WWE is scripted. The NFL looks like it's fixed. If I'm wrong, I stand corrected, but that's what I saw. When you don't call flags on one entire team, when I'm blatantly seeing them, you don't call flags on the Raiders hardly. And then everything the Chargers do is a flag just about, I guess when Chargers scored some touchdowns, they thought, I guess they couldn't reach their flag quick enough, so they let it go, So this is my rant. Don't care if the NFL likes it, I really don't care. It was blatant to see. I'm not a sore loser. If my team lost legitimately, I would say it, but they didn't. Anyway, it's the J. Roos Theory. Make sure to subscribe, like, and be fearless, homie. Yay, yay.